Well, doing it again. 2011 Ford Edge. Updated R valve cover. And of course the part number is this right here. So if you have like a 2011 through, I think it goes up through 2013, maybe. The valve cover is updated to an R. Basically what they did is they changed the oil catch can. Yes, that is an oil catch can, folks. This part right here is a baffled section that is designed to retain the oil and then drip it back into the engine as it goes through the breather right here. And that breather tube then goes to this right here, this connection. Now, one thing I had is I had a blowout, and you can see I got the hole right there, and I don't know why it's broken there. I have no idea, but I can assume the oil did something. But there's something else also I noticed on this, is this right here. Look at that thing move. Look at that move. That is loose as all get out. So I'm assuming the oil coming through has softened this rubber up, because I have a new one, or actually it's used. It's off of I think a 2013 Sport 3.7, and yes, the part is the same. I've already put the caps on it and everything, and it has no holes. The rubber is really stiff compared to mine. And another thing that I noticed, this here has no movement at all. It is firmly bolted in there and is not wobbling around like the other one did. So have a better connection for the breather tube, but I'm thinking the oil that comes through is actually softening the rubber connections up and softening the rubber and causing it to fail. That's the only thing I can conclude out of it. But hey, I got a replacement one, and the oil always pools up right in here. That's right, pulls right up in there, and then it also gets into the throttle body. But I got a new one here, and I'm going to go ahead and replace the valve cover on this 2011. I did it on another one. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll just do snippets of me replacing it as I go, and because I've already done a video on it, I'll post a link to it. But we're just going to go ahead, get this job done real quick, and get this 2011 back on the road. Well, as always, you tend to break one. These things can get stuck in there pretty good. So red clip is gone. Probably have to work on replacing that, but disconnected this main power here that I had there, and then you have a whole bunch of different Christmas trees that you have to take and unplug to get this loose so that you can get at it. So now that I got all that done, I think there's one down here, but I'm going to pull the valve cover off and see if it sticks. But other than that, I am ready to go to take and pull the bolts off, and let's check this engine out to see how varnished it is. Well, I decided to check the VCT. So as you can see, no metal, really good shape. So yep, that just confirms that all that metal came from that water pump. We'll go ahead and put this back together. Okay folks, 137,000 miles, and we can all safely assume that synthetic oil does do the job. Good oil changes and everything else. This is my 2011 Ford Edge I kindly call Blueberry. It's a limited front wheel drive, and we're changing the valve cover on it. And I got everything off of there, and we're just going to go ahead, clean up this little part right here and down here at the mating surfaces, and put a little bit of RTV on there and slap the new one back on. One thing that you can tell, there is the camshaft sensor right there. And that would be for your exhaust, and then the other one is right there. can't really see it, but it is right there, and they connect right to the back of the engine, right back here, and right here is where they connect. So they're pretty easy to reach. Might have to take off this hose, and then you have a lot more real estate to reach them, but they wouldn't be too terribly hard to replace if you had to replace those sensors. Not that they really ever fail. But there's your hall sensor. As you see, just like your speed sensors, you're going to have your sensors here with the bigger teeth, and that's how they work, and that is essentially a hall sensor. So it just detects the spaces in the metal, spaces of metal, and that gives you what your timing is, and based on the rotation and the time that it goes. So that's where they're at, and the others are way back there. So yeah, good luck with those. Quick tip: when these push-on stud zip ties break when you pull them off of the engine, just cut that off and then put the wire tie through it like so, and then you just push it back on the stud and then zip tie it on with the wire tie. Pretty simple. Went ahead and did that over on the engine here, and you can probably see I have that wire tie right there, and that's exactly how I did it. So you can reuse these. Just clip off the old stuff, put another wire tie on, and slide it on. Alright, got her all done. Got the new valve cover on. Not that terribly hard, like I said. You do have to transfer the connection here from the old valve cover to the new one. Did that in the last video, but hey, I made do with the zip ties and the old stud fasteners there. So hey, that's a nice little trick to learn, and just came to mind that I can just clip them and run zip ties through them and do the same thing rather than running out and buying new ones. But all I got left to do is put the air tube on for the intake, and then start her up and see what she does. I did use a little bit of dielectric grease on my connectors, so we're all good there. So let's finish this job up, put her together, and start her and see what happens. Well, it's always good when the job is done and it starts and you don't have any problems. I do now have a 3.7 Duratec intake tube. Same part. Doesn't matter what engine. But valve cover's on. I'm going to take her for a spin. No leaks so far. It's been running for about 10 minutes. So time for a spin, and real test will be how much oil will it use during this run, and compared to last time. 1.5 quarts loss is pretty heavy. So we're going to go ahead and drive her and see what happens. Trying to get a close-up of these, but yeah, they are hard as a rock compared to the new ones. They are very, very heat treated, I guess you could say. I had to rip those VCT seals out, but they're metal covered, and they're hard as a rock also. So if you have a 2011, the seals definitely need to be replaced. They are not sealing anymore because they are rock hard. The rubber has lost all of its give and take. So yeah, it's time for a new valve cover. One thing about the valve cover is it comes with all new seals, gasket, everything you need. So if you don't feel like replacing the seals, plus you get the updated valve cover if you have a 2011 through 13, it might be worth just getting the whole valve cover. Houston, we have a problem. Yep, I don't think that's supposed to be there. Time to get a new one. Darn it.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Go production.